Physique assessment. The question our expert panel addresses is: how do you gain consent to conduct measurements of athletes? Associate Professor Gary Slater.
As with any assessment, it's critical to get the person's approval to undertake it before proceeding. Now, within a research setting, that might be obtaining a written consent from an individual. In the day-to-day practice for individuals, it might be getting their verbal approval. And this needs to come well in advance of the assessment. Prior to the assessments, you need to explain to a client how they need to present, the clothing they need to wear. Do they need to do anything from a dietary perspective? Does hydration status influence results? But also the testing that's going to be undertaken and the information that will be generated from that. When undertaking an assessment of body composition, your priority should be always with your client, irrespective of the technique that you're using, ensuring that they feel at ease throughout the entire process. So is it important to obtain consent from a client prior to assessment? Absolutely. They need to be informed in regards to what's happening throughout the process.
Dr. Kagan Ducker.
I think there's a few different ways that you can do that. Some sports particularly will have consent for testing results to be released as part of an athlete's contract to be part of that training squad. Or it can be obtained simply presenting them with a consent form at the time or obtaining their verbal consent if necessary, but ideally you'd have some written consent from that person at the time of doing their assessment.
Professor Tim Ackland.
Well, firstly, athletes need to be informed about the protocol using plain language information sheet. You then obtain written consent from the athlete once you've answered all their queries. And remember, consent must be given for the collection, analysis and the use of the data.
For further information on physique assessment, see our book, Best Practice Protocols for Physique Assessment in Sport, published by Springer.